It is nice to see people here when I come in, you know? It's actually somewhat of a gift to click on that go live button and see people here ready to keep you company. Thank you. Very much appreciated. I'm going to bring up my desktop. Danny is here waving. Lake number one is done from Cat and Jack. Hey, Cat. What's up, Lairducks? Danny says, Cat, here is a cup of coffee. What a great host Danny is. Yes, 1 second, guys. Gotta pet my cat, looking at me expectantly. All right. Anything you guys want to talk about? Cat says, hey, Danny. Hey, MK. How's the fishing going, MK? Soul Stars is here. It says, grand evening. Grand evening to you, my friend. Cat says, hey, Lairducks. Hey, Big Al. Big Al says, so Yogi, link number 2. Appreciate that. And Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. And happy 4 days before birthday. Cat says, let's talk about the Pope. Let's talk about the Pope. I posted something on Facebook about the Pope. Cat is laughing. I wonder where she ever came up with that idea, talking about the Pope. Hey, Country Boy. Country Boy says, dear friend, Country Boy Magic. I like that name. Nice to see you again. I have not had much thoughts about a lot of former popes. Oops. But this one I like. Not that I just didn't think about him one way or the other back in the day.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing better than I was earlier, thank you. Yeah.
What was going on earlier?
I've just not had a great day. I don't really want to talk about it. I don't want to put a dampener on the stream, so we'll keep it upbeat. But I've not had a good day.
Okay. One thing I will put out there though is you're always welcome to talk about whatever it is that's going on in your life, without any worries. If you don't want to, sometimes we just want to be down, or sometimes we're just down without need of being cheered up. We just need to be in the company of people who accept us where we are and how we are. So let me just say, whatever you need, you got it.
Thank you, Yogi. I appreciate that. Sorry, I muted myself a second. I was trying to clear my throat, and I didn't want to keep doing it on the camera.
Right. Understood.
No, I had a good morning. I've done over 10,000 steps today,
Nice.
which I usually only do around like 5,000 to 6,000 steps a day.
Right.
But today I've walked quite a distance actually. But yeah, I had a good morning. Went for a long walk. This afternoon I met a lovely woman called Emma who's been referred. I was referred to her for extra support with my mental health. And that went okay. And then I think it was just unloading because I've had to speak to her about what support I need and obviously go through all the traumatic things that I'm already speaking about. And I think speaking about those things has just mentally drained me.
I can understand that.
Because I came home, I had my food, and then it was around 6 o'clock, I think. I went to bed for a while and I woke up at about 8 o'clock. And I said to my mum, I'm mentally drained rather than physically. I don't feel physically tired. like I feel, I could go out for a run or something right now because that's how energized I am. I think it's more just digging back into the memories that I'm already talking about with people and that kind
Right.
of thing. It's just it's not really helped. I knew that I was meeting this lady this afternoon. I just guess I didn't mentally prepare for what we'd be speaking about, really.
Understood. Sometimes I wonder at the effectiveness of, and I don't knock any kind of therapy uh, that works for people, but I do wonder about the effectiveness of talk therapy overall if it's not mixed with other things as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
uh, diving in the past is great for um, uncovering hidden emotional, sometimes actual bombs that we have that we've hidden so deeply. But what do
yeah,
you do with them afterwards is what counts. Um, can you bring them into the present moment and then let them go?
yeah. I mean, this lady, this woman called Emma, she's helping. She's been assigned to me to help with mental health, but it's in a more physical way rather than like I have my therapy at the moment and stuff like that. Whereas this lady's been assigned to me to help me with um like building friendships really, because that's something I struggle with due to my anxiety. When I go out, I keep myself to myself quite a lot. There's two like I don't know the right way to word it, so I'm going to word it in the way that I was going to word it, and then it can be interpreted in whichever way from there. But essentially, I've been speaking to two women in a romantic sense, not at the same time. I was speaking to one, and due to her work, she told me she'd be moving, like not moving away permanently, but she'd be moving away for a couple of weeks at a time. Every sort of few weeks, she'd be back, and then she'd go again for a couple of weeks, just with her work. That's how we met actually, and I couldn't ever. We were speaking for months, and I couldn't pluck up the courage to ask for a number or anything. So I kind of ruined that opportunity because obviously now she's away again.
Right.
Um, and then there was another lady. I say lady, she's my age, so but she's at the end of the day she's a woman. But yeah, no. So I met another woman, and again I didn't pluck up the courage to ask her. She lives across the road from me, and like seeing her on a daily basis is stressful because it's like we've spoken a lot, obviously, and both have mutual feelings. I'm just too ashamed to ask for a number or make the next step, you know.
Well, what's to be ashamed of?
There's nothing to be ashamed of as such. It's just I'm too afraid to ask for her number or anything. I, I just get really anxious when it comes to anything like that. I don't mind talking to her. We have regular conversations.
Right.
Um, but again, I've just never been able to pluck up the courage and ask for a number. Because the last time we spoke, she was on her way to the hairdressers. I was on my way back from a shop. She was on her way out to the hairdressers, and like we were stood there talking for about 15 minutes. And in my head, I was like, "Ask for a number, ask for a number, ask for a number," and I just never did. And then she was like, "Right, I'm sorry, I've got to get going. I was going to be late." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll see you next time." And
You know what she was probably
yeah, she
thinking? She was probably
go ahead.
thinking, she was probably thinking, man, I hope he asks for my number. I hope he asks for my number. I hope he asks for my number. Um, and both of you are having these thoughts, and it never happened.
Yeah, like I say, it's me. I can't pluck up the courage to ask. In my head, I think it, but no matter what, I just can't physically. The words just won't come out.
Right.
And like I say, that's happened twice now. Like, so it's a bit frustrating for me, obviously, because I then walk away and I'm like, oh, why didn't I just ask? But at the same time, like I said, the words just physically won't come out. I just can't do it.
Hmm. You ever ask yourself, what if you could? And then go with that.
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
it's the opposite of what we talked about the other day. What, in the absence of this thought, who would you be? Um,
Yep.
it's actually the sort of the opposite. That of in the presence of how you feel for someone, what if you just acted upon it?
Yes. Yeah. Instead of thinking, just do it.
And use those thoughts as a prompt. As soon as you think, should I do it? Can I do it? Or, anything, just use them as a thought. Take a breath, conscious, mindful breath. Let everything go. Smile. Smiling is key because it has a physiological effect and an emotional effect. Um, so
Yep.
just smile and then say it. And you know what? My experience of being a fairly awkward person is awkwardness works. It can be endearing. Um,
Yep.
so go with your strength. That's your superpower.
Thank you. I think my superpower is being invisible to most people, actually.
You think so?
Yeah, a lot of people
Hey,
don't notice me. So, although I
you know
say
what
that, and
though?
it's quite funny that I say people don't notice me, I'm getting a lot of attention from females recently. I don't know what it is. I haven't changed anything about myself. I'm the same old me. But recently, I have actually, um, yeah, a few I've had like I don't know, maybe in the last sort of fortnight, I've had like 5 females
Well,
all flirt with me and stuff. It's like I'm being noticed a bit more, but at the same time, I also feel a bit invisible. I think it's mainly because the people that I want to recognize me or want to notice me don't notice me.
well, we got some advice here. Kat says, "What's the worst that can happen?"
I genuinely have thought about that, and the worst that can happen is she would say no to me having her number.
Right. Cece says, "Just do
That
it."
is exactly, and that's the thing. It's easy to say this to myself,
Right.
but when I'm physically in front of her, maybe it's nerves as well because I'm attracted to her, and I know that I can mess up relationships. I think it's me overthinking and subconsciously maybe saying to myself no because you might make a mess of this or you can
I,
you can break this or mess this up. I think that's the kind of thing that messes up with me because I do overthink.
I feel you on that. I actually had Wednesday had a conversation with someone about how I've gotten so I've yogified myself to such an extent that I might have um, yogified myself out of relationships. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I, I I have a relationship with everyone. I always feel connected, be it a stranger that I meet when I'm out walking, um, or a clerk at a grocery store. You guys, but at the same time, I have gotten into this yogic routine, which works for me and I love, but it also leaves some things out of my life, and it may have cut me off from significant people in my life.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe I needed that after my father's death, but uh, that was 4 years ago now. So I'm
Yeah.
starting to examine what I need now. I'm going to
Yeah.
dive back
Yeah.
in the comment here. Nathan said, "What do you think she feels? She's been waiting for you to ask her out all this time. What's to lose, Big Al?" Hey, Willa.
That's a very fair question. I don't have anything to lose because at the minute I don't have what I want. So
There you
there
go.
isn't really anything to lose. For me, it's just again going back. It's me just. I've got to talk myself into it rather than talking myself out of it all the
Here's some more excellent advice from Nathan. Change your socks, please.
time. It's funny
Probably
actually. My
always.
socks, my socks say cat on.
What do they say?
My socks have the word cat on them. because they're the I don't know if you have it in America, but the brand Caterpillar,
Yes.
it's like workwear. They are work socks, so they actually say cat.
Interesting. Yeah, it's relationships are always interesting. You never know. It's always going to be a gamble. There's no sure bet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
ever. And I think when we accept that, it can get a little bit easier. Typing a comment real quick. When are you
That's
going to
fine.
see her next?
I don't know. I do see her quite regularly because, like I say, she lives just across the road. We live opposite each other directly. So anytime we go out at the same time, we always wave at each other. But we do live. It's in the UK. It's classed as a main road. We do live on opposite sides of like a main road. It's single carriageway, but it's quite a busy road. So anytime we do see each other when we leave at the same time, we often wave or shout hello across the road. But as for speaking, we can't always speak because we're on our way to work or going. I'm on my way to a meeting, or she's going to get a haircut, for example, and stuff like that. So, yeah, we do see each other regularly. Sorry.
You can shout it across the street. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, I mean, it's some kind of rom-com kind of scenario. That really.
Yep.
Can I get your number?
It
And
might
then
work.
she's trying to shout. She's trying to shout over the sound of cars rushing by, and I'm like, "What was that? A one or a two?"
Cece says, ask her out tomorrow night. There you go. Cece just summed it up.
The problem is, if I want to purposely bump into her, it would be knocking on her door. That would be the only way to guarantee that I see her, because I haven't seen her for 2 days now. We haven't left the house at the same time.
Right. Nathan says, give her some flag signals, Big Al.
What's I'm a bit slow. What's flag signal?
That would be, like the air traffic controllers or an airman in the
Oh,
service.
right, yeah. Sorry, I hear people saying about red flags all the time. Like in
Right.
relationships, people have red flags, for, like signs to look out for. I thought that's what he meant. I was like, flag signals. I don't know what that.
Gotcha on that. Kat says, or you could be spontaneous, and right there, right then and there, say, hey, you want to go get a cup of coffee?
That's a good. I mean, again, it's a bit of a struggle because obviously work and stuff. It's trying to find the time to, when she is in, to go and knock, and and when I'm not busy. I do like CC Alien's suggestion. I've already done that actually. I went and knocked and asked for a cup of milk before because she said, anytime you need anything, come and knock. And I wanted an excuse to speak to her. This is at a time, admittedly, where I didn't have these feelings for her. I just,
Right.
the feelings were like developing, if you like, and I wanted an excuse to speak to her. So I went and knocked that afternoon and said, can I have a little bit of milk, please? And the truth was, I actually had just bought milk, but I wanted the excuse to go and say hi.
I can understand that. I've been there. Man, back in the day, the things we did when we were attracted to someone, a lot of great lengths, at least for me. CC says, my favorite part of coming yogi is the facial expression, body language. What's my body language? Well, I don't want to know what my body language is saying. I'm
I mean,
glad you
I
have a
have
favorite
like.
part.
Sorry, go ahead, Yogi. I didn't realize.
No, I was just saying to Cece, I'm glad that he has a favorite part. Hey, Sue, what were you going to say, Big Al?
Like again, I'm not some kind of player. I'm not playing everyone off against each other or anything like that. But like, I frequent a specific cafe, not for any reason, or it wasn't for any reason until a couple of weeks ago. I just frequented it because I like the coffee, I like the smoothies, and I like the cake because it's all homemade. And then about 2 weeks ago, um, the cafe that I frequent, the young woman in there, who is the daughter of the older woman that owns the cafe, she started giving me things for free. Now, although she tries to give me them for free, I don't always accept. I have done a couple of times because, who in their right mind is going to refuse free things on a regular basis?
True.
But I don't accept every time. The first time she did it, I was adamant that I was paying, and I paid. In fact, she kept refusing, so I waited for her to go like out the back, and then her mum was at the counter, and I said to her, "I want to pay quickly." And her daughter came back through and shook her head because she obviously must have seen the camera or something. And I was like, "What? I want to pay." But since then, like, she's given me free cake, she's given me free drinks, and like I say, I don't accept every time, but I have accepted a couple of times because, like I said, we are only human, and sometimes we don't like to pay.
Sure.
And if she's offering for free, then I'm going to take advantage of that. But I've started frequenting it a bit more because of her, and it's like that's what I mean. But I know it doesn't matter whether if I ask this woman across the road for her number and she says no, I know it will still be a number of months before I'm able to pluck up the courage to ask the other lady for her number.
Hmm.
I hope that makes sense.
It does make sense. It does make sense. It's a predicament. What if you ask them out both at the same time?
And then what happens if they both say yes?
That saves you the trouble. Well, that's a good thing. If they both say yes, then I'd rather have that problem than them both saying no.
It's a fair point, but it's not very fair. I mean, it's illegal to marry two people. It's not illegal to have a relationship with two people.
Right. CC said no, no. He does not like my plan. So do not ask them both out. That says we had a Pepsi guy script free stuff over and over at Walmart. Can you guess what happened? Did I mention we are short on help? So we had a Pepsi guy accept free stuff. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I guess that's not good, huh? In a workplace, never a good idea, I guess, to accept free stuff. However, as a customer, it's a different story. So, man, both of those people are just sitting there waiting for Big Al to ask him out.
And then little old me is fighting with my brain more than anything.
How about when you're going to do it? Call me up.
That
We'll do some breath.
possibly help.
We'll do some breath work.
Yeah.
And then just go ahead and do it. Or Cyrano de Bergerac. You remember the story?
No.
He had a really big nose, very awkward nose. And he fell in love with someone, but was afraid to talk with her. A friend of his fell in love with the same person, or thought he was in love with the same person. And he didn't know he couldn't use words, but Cyrano de Bergerac was a wonderful poet, wonderful love poet. So they came up with a plan that Cyrano de Bergerac would whisper the words in the other guy's ear, and he would repeat them. So she fell in love with the words, but not the man. And then when she found out that it was Cyrano de Bergerac, the nose didn't matter. Jim was already in love with him. They made a great movie,
Yeah.
Steve Martin, back in the 80s. Roxanne.
Now that you've told me again, it does sound familiar.
So here's what we're going to do. You're going to put a little, you're going to take your cell phone and hide it and have an earphone. And me, CC, Kat, and Nathan are going to whisper to you exactly what to say. How's that for a plan?
Sounds good. Yeah, like she told me when her birthday was, so I bought her a present.
Nice.
She was really appreciative. I've been in her house. She's invited me in for drinks a few times because obviously, like I say, we're past the like, we're definitely like deep into a friendship. That's like there's no doubt about that. From some of the conversations we've had, our feelings are mutual about each other because there's certain things I have, although I haven't admitted that maybe I'm in love with her. Maybe that's a stretch. I don't know, but I haven't said that. But I have said some things, and she's agreed and said, "Oh yeah, I totally get that." And it's just a difficult one. It's like I say, it's not the whole. The whole thing is just me talking myself out of it. It's me being afraid. I think it's the rejection that's the most like worrying thing. It's not the
Right.
fact that she would say no. It's the rejection part. I'm you know, I know, you know, we've all been in, I'm sure we've all been rejected. And it's that fear of that that scares me the most.
Well,
Because
here's the question.
I could, in my opinion, I could gladly go and knock on her door tomorrow and say, "Can I have your number? Can we go for a drink?" And to the drink part, I'm 100% confident she would say yes to going for a drink because it's come up before. But the whole asking for her number, that's a different story. It's again, it's the being afraid of her saying no.
Well, go ask her for a drink and for a different time, and then say, "Oh, can I get your number so I can call you?" Ask her
That's
for the
very
drink
clever.
first.
That's that's clever. That is very smart actually. That could even work.
Well, 60 years old, man. I've been around the block a few times.
That's true.
Here's
Yes.
here's my question for you. You said, we've all been rejected, right?
Yep.
You survived it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you survived it, you can survive it again.
That's true. Yep. And Cece, I just want to quickly say, you could give her your number. I could, but then if she's feeling the same as I am, because like I said, we've had the mutual conversations where we both feel the same. So if she's in the same predicament I'm in, she's not asking me for my number because she's scared. If I give her my number, she could chicken out and say, well, and she might not text me then. So it still leaves me questioning whether she's going to text me, why hasn't she texted me? And I think
Right.
that's even scarier than being told no. Because at
I
least
think
being told no, I know that, yeah, I think now I'm just overthinking it.
right. That's the thing. How do you take a Band-Aid off?
You do it fast.
There you go. You can even admit and say, "Hey, look, I've been driving myself crazy about asking you out, and I just want to go out with you. I want to take you out for a drink. I like you, and I'm tired of driving myself crazy," or something along
Yeah.
those lines. You don't even have to say that to her. Tell yourself you're tired of driving yourself crazy. Um, I think at a certain point, I'd rather be rejected than to be in that limbo.
Yes. Yep.
Um, yeah, I've always been okay with rejection. I've always been okay asking people out, regardless of what they uh, might say. Fortunately,
Yep.
um, fortunately, I was really sort of proposed to, when I got married. I think Mocha was like, "So you ever think we're gonna get married?" And I was like, "Sure, whenever you whenever you want. Let's go ahead and set a date if you want." Something along those lines. I sort of like just agreed to it, and
Yeah,
I've managed to stumble my way into all kinds of good things in life, and also stumble my way out of good things in my life. So
yeah. You see, what's difficult is my last couple of relationships, especially my last one, started mutually. So it was kind of a cliche relationship. We met. We were both in college. But I had a girlfriend at the time. My girlfriend at the time was abusive, and I kept ignoring it. I ignored the abuse, and I just put up with it. I then stupidly, I was only 16, so I was a bit naive. I ignored the abuse. I didn't see it as domestic abuse. I just saw it as basically what she was like. I
right,
think I made excuses for it because obviously I was young and naive. I think I made excuses for it. What happened then was I proposed to her because like you see in movies when people get married and stuff, they are happy. So I said to myself as a 16-year-old, if I propose to her, she's going to be happy. So I asked my mum for some money because again I was only 16 and I was in college. I didn't have a job or anything. I asked my mum for some money. She gave me the money. I went out and bought a ring. I proposed to my girlfriend. She was happy for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then the abuse started again. She went back to hitting me, kicking me, punching me, all of that stuff, shouting at me, and she had no shame. She would shout at me in public. She would hit me in front of people. She didn't care, and it was actually my mum that made me see sense.
right,
My mum witnessed it one time. Myself and my girlfriend at the time were both unaware that it had been witnessed by anyone. Um, Not to say that I was out of sight on purpose, but we were stood somewhere private, just chatting, and didn't think we were in view of anyone. And she hit me, and my mum witnessed it. And later on, when my girlfriend had gone home, my mum says, "How often does she hit you?" And I tried to play it off. I said, "Oh, whatever you saw was an accident." And my mum said, "No, I saw her punch you. That wasn't an accident. You were talking and she punched you." So it was then that I kind of admitted that it had been going on for a couple of years. And my
yeah,
mum says, "I don't want you seeing her anymore." So we split up. Then it comes back into that like cliche relationship because me and my now ex, we hadn't seen each other for a couple of years, and we bumped into each other. By this time, obviously, I joined the Air Force and stuff like that. We bumped into each other, and I invited her to mine for the evening. She spent the night. She went home the next day. Everything was normal. I just thought, yeah, okay, this is, I've rekindled my friendship with a long lost friend because that's all we were in college. And then mutually, a relationship started because I don't remember asking her out, and I know for definite she didn't ask me out. We just started hanging out a lot together. Obviously, shared a kiss, and then from there, like a relationship started. So that's the kind of difficult thing. It's been a long time since I've asked anyone out because we were together for 7 years. We've got a child together, so it's that kind. Yeah, it's just like I say, it's. I've not had to ask anyone out for a long time.
right.
Sorry that was such a long story.
No, that's okay. I've been there with you as well. You know, having been married for quite some time, and then even after our divorce, we stayed together. Um, there was times when we were slightly apart where I saw other people, But again, it was just something I sort of stumbled into. It's been a very long time since I've asked someone out.
Yeah.
Not even sure. Not even sure what I would do. Um, at this point in my life, asking someone out.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's easier to wait for a relationship to start mutually, but at the same time, who knows how long that's going to take. So I would prefer to ask just straight up. I think your plan sounds great, Yogi, or whose ever plan it was. Sorry, I forget. I think it may have been Cece. Is to invite her out for a coffee, at a later date, and just say, "Can I have your number in case my plans change?" Or
Right.
whatever like that. I think that's a very smart way to play it.
I think so.
So I think that may be what I do. And when I do it, I'll try not to take too long about it. But when I do it, I will definitely come back in here and I will tell everyone how it went.
Awesome. This should be a regular segment. Dating life with Big Al and Yogi.
That's yeah. I mean, I can't give any tips on asking people out because I'm having trouble with that. But I can offer relationship tips.
But you know what? You can also just let people know what's going on with you, and people can learn from your experience.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my I have a few exes. Some of them have ended badly, like with a lot of people's relationships end on a sour note. I've been cheated on. I've accidentally ruined a relationship. Now that sounds quite stupid. Essentially, I got paranoid. Having been cheated on and being away a lot, I kept asking my partner at the time if she cheated on me, and she kept saying no. And I don't know what it was. I believed her, but again, my head didn't believe her. I
Right.
I I I believed her physically, like I had no doubts. But every time I saw her, I would ask her, "Have you cheated on me?" or whatever. And in the end, and this is not me bragging again, as I say nearly every time, but it was me that ended up breaking up with her. And I said to her, it was because I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want to keep asking her. If I truly trusted her, I wouldn't need to keep asking. And obviously, there was a part of me that didn't trust her fully, else I wouldn't have kept asking. So she saw where I was coming from. We ended on good terms, although it was me that I ruined the relationship. We ended on good terms, and we stayed friends for a long time. We just naturally stopped talking. There was no bad, like, we didn't argue or anything. There was no I don't want to speak to you anymore. We just suddenly stopped speaking and haven't spoken for a number of years. But if I bumped into her tomorrow, I would still say hi and ask how she's doing if I recognised her. Because there was no hard feelings from anyone. It was just one of those natural things. Like I say, I was in the Air Force and I was away a lot, so naturally, we just stopped talking.
Right.
So
Yeah. I've had that
it's
happen
one of
before.
those.
All right. So tomorrow's the day. We put Plan A into action. What do you say?
I go and knock on the door and ask for her to go for a drink with me.
Yep.
And I say, we'll arrange it for, let's say we arrange it for Thursday. Can I have your number in case my plans change between now and then?
There you go. Cypress
And then
says he was. Go ahead.
And then that's what I plan to do tomorrow, as you've just said, the plan for tomorrow. So, will you be live tomorrow, Yogi?
Yep.
So then tomorrow, I come into the stream and I tell you how it went.
Awesome. This is good. From this point on, I've decided I'm going to live my life vicariously through Big Al. I don't need a date. I can just get the information. I can, like I said, vicariously date through Big Al.
So change of plan. What I do is I knock on the door tomorrow. I say, "Can I take you for a drink on Thursday? And can I get your number in case any plans change between here and
Yep.
then?" And I then say, "My friend Yogi lives in my head, and he says this is what I should do." No, I'm joking. I won't say that, obviously.
Yeah, that might not go over too well. But hey, it's good to have. Here's two things. It's good to have a plan. It's good to be flexible with a plan. Know if you need to pivot, know that you need to pivot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like you don't want to rehearse something so much where what if she says, well, what about Wednesday? And you're like, oh man, I didn't plan for Wednesday. You know what I mean? You don't want to be thrown off. Whatever happens,
Yep.
happens. CC says, I
Yeah.
wish you the best.
Thank you, Cece. Thank you.
Hi, Rosie. Oh, I'm excited for you.
I'm looking forward to. I'm nervous, but I'm looking forward to it.
Right. Nervous is good. You know, it's just
thing-
it's just energy.
The thing I've got to remember is it's now or never, essentially. Not literally never, but it's now or, I don't know how long I'm going to be waiting to pluck up the courage if I don't do it. So it's now or never, essentially. I've got to do it.
Right.
Because all I'm doing is putting it off and torturing myself, essentially. Because every time, like I say, every time I see her and I don't ask, I walk away just thinking, why didn't I ask? I should have just said it. So I need to do it because else I'm just prolonging my own suffering.
This is true. That's a good insight. It's an important insight. Cat and Jack says, Selma, look up. I said I friggin' love you. All right. So we've developed a plan, a time frame. This is big work. Yeah.
There's no we, Yogi. It was you and the chat, really.
Nah, it's all of us.
I've just
Yeah.
agreed to do it because I can't keep being a chicken.
Well, but it was a collective energy that came together.
It just occurred to me that I'm nearly 29 and I'm scared to ask a woman out.
It's no big deal though.
When I was 16, I was less scared to ask people out.
Right. Well, it seems. I think when we're a little bit older, it seems. Kat says we torture ourselves. When we're a little bit older, it seems more like it has more weight to it. I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, that makes sense.
As well, I think that as we get a little older, and we're single, sometimes it might be a little bit of weight of loneliness, and you see someone as a way of alleviating that loneliness a bit, and it's scary on a lot of fronts. Sometimes you might be scared of losing that loneliness because we're so conditioned in it, and we also might be concerned at the same time, that paradox, that we'll stay lonely.
Yeah.
We're caught in that tug of war. Our comfort zone and the fear of going out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
So it's a shame I don't have a neighbor.
I've just got to say something to you, Yogi, very quickly.
Yep. What's that?
Merry Christmas.
Oh, well, thank you. Happy New Year's. And early birthday present.
Yogi. Thank you.
I was just thinking, it's a shame that I don't have a neighbor that I want to ask out because I could go through this with you. I guess I could ask out.
That's true.
I guess I could ask out a neighbor, but man, I'm afraid her husband might get a little upset. But hey, we can give it a shot.
I mean, he doesn't need to know. You could play it off as a rhetorical question or a practical joke.
Or I'm practicing that. Hey, I came up with a theory for a friend, and we're going to see if it works. Do you mind if I ask your wife out?
that's a very genius way to play that one.
I think so. And you know what? He owes me because I shovel his sidewalk in the wintertime all the time. So the least he could do was say, "Sure, you can go ahead and ask my wife out."
Sounds like a fair deal to me.
So, all right, Big Up, we're gonna head into the conversation and see what's going on with Selma. Think she's having a rough
That's
time.
that's fair enough.
Tomorrow's the day, right?
Tomorrow is the day.
Awesome.
I could take my guitar across and serenade her. You know, I could write a song on the spot. Lady, can I have your number? Can I take you for a coffee? May I please?
I like that.
And that's all I've got for now.
That's enough. Sometimes it's the most spontaneous that gets it done.
The thing that was made up on the spot, so that was quite. I'm happy with that.
I liked it.
I tried to choose a tune very randomly that I hoped wouldn't get you banned. I tried not to sing it in the tune of any specific song.
Right. I appreciate that. Let's see. Willow is back.
Hi, Willow.
So by tomorrow's evening live stream, will everything be in place? We'll get an update.
Yes, you'll have. Yeah, I will be in obviously the late stream like I am always. I don't really join your other streams because it's I don't know actually why I don't join, but the nighttime one has become a little bit of a routine. I think a little bit of a tradition.
Right, and I enjoy it quite a bit.
Big Al and Yogi's evening streams, or Yogi and Big Al, sorry, it should be because you're the owner.
It could go either way. It can go either way. I don't mind being a co-host sometimes. You know. Evan says you find TikTok and technology has made your attention span very short. I've never been on TikTok before, and I think our attention span is very trainable. So, and I do try to. I think when you meditate, your attention span increases, especially also breath work and meditation together. That's a good question, though, Evan. Do you ever go on TikTok, Big Al?
I've never been on TikTok. I don't have social media actually. I don't have. See, a lot of people class YouTube as social media, but I wouldn't. I class it as a streaming service because you stream videos on there, you watch videos on there. To me, it's not social media in the traditional sense of social media. I used to have Facebook, haven't had that since 2018.
Well,
I've never had Snapchat, I've never had TikTok, I've had Instagram. I had Instagram for a couple of years, but no, I don't have any social media now. I have WhatsApp, so I can keep in touch with people I work with and family. But I don't have any. No, I don't have no social media. Like I say, just YouTube, and I don't class it as social media. I class it more as a streaming service because you just watch videos on there essentially. Yes, you can comment. Yes, you can join lives like this, but it's a video platform really. So I call it a streaming service.
right, that makes sense. Let's see. Willow wants to do some breath work.
That's fine. I will jump in the chat in a second, Yogi.
Awesome. She wants some to help with sleep, which this time of night, I think for all of us, it's good to start unwinding.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I apologize, everyone. It's me. I'm a chatty person.
Me too. As a matter of fact, Kat just said, you know how Yogi can go on and on and on. She probably could have added a couple more ons if she wanted to. I do have a tendency to go on and on. That's for sure.
I just want to quickly mention something. It'll be the last thing I say before I leave. So I apologise, everyone in chat. But just going on back onto the question you read out, Yogi, about TikTok and attention span.
Yep.
I have a short attention span, but we had this conversation last night. I mentioned some things about ADHD and that kind of stuff, and a very overactive brain. That's more where my problem is, because like I say, I don't use technology a lot. I don't have any social media, but my attention span is low. And again, that it's been like that since I was a child, which is why ADHD and things like that get brought up. So for me, that social media and TikTok and things are irrelevant in that question. It's
Right.
just the way I am.
You know, I think there's an author, Thomas Hartman, who also has a radio show, has for quite some time. He wrote several books on ADHD. One, he called it the Edison gene. He also called it the hunter-gatherer's gene. In the right context, ADHD is actually a gift. Because if your attention is going in different directions, keeps you very sharp and very aware on all of your surroundings, instead of zeroing in on just one thing and then not noticing something else that might be vital for your survival. But in modern society, where everything has to be lasered in some way, focused upon, and I mean everything, that then it becomes an issue. It's an issue in math class, but if you are in the field, it's a survival tactic.
Yeah.
I think we lost the art of reinterpreting what a gift is. We view things as, especially things like ADHD or other issues along this term, as a handicap instead of being a gift that just needs to be reinterpreted. How does this work for me now, in this type of world?
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned, like, no, it doesn't matter, because I'll be changing the subject slightly, and I said that was the last thing I was going to say. So we'll leave it there. I apologise.
No, that's okay.
I was just going to mention that you bring up the that obviously it could be a survival technique in the field,
Right.
and I was just going to share my experience of it. But like I said, I won't do for tonight. I'll save that, because I said that the question I answered would be the last thing. So I'll stick to what I said, and that will be the last thing I make a conversation about.
Gives us one more thing to talk about tomorrow.
Exactly. I'm going to answer one last question. I'm going to answer, because it'll be very quick.
Sure.
Nathan says no shower tonight, Big Al. And the answer is no. I had a shower this morning, and my shower wouldn't be yet anyway. My latest shower is 2 a.m. So my shower would be after yoga stream if I had one. I haven't even decided yes or no, really. But the answer is not yet.
Okay. Good answer.
And with that, I jump into the chat. I love you all. As always, Yogi, I appreciate you allowing me to be up here again. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Love you. See you in the chat.
See you in the chat. And just remember, in the Big Al Yogi Show, we need a Big Al. You're here for a reason.
Much love. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, my friend.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So, if I could hear you guys, I would say let's give a big round of applause for our friend Big Al. Willa says, Big Al, we're all amazing in different ways. This is true. Willa says, see my friend, how are you? Selma says, I'm coming on. Hey, Selma, before you come on, you still here? Before you come on, we're going to do some breath work for Willow. So Willow, let me know when you are ready. Cece says, wear your work uniform. Ladies love that. Depends on where you work. Big Al says, I'm ready. Willow says, ready, friend. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to do 10 rounds of breathing in the nose. Cat is ready for a count of 4. We're going to exhale for a count of 8. We've all done it. It's a 4-8 breath. Very powerful anti-anxiety, anti-stress, and sleep prep. Anna's ready. Every once in a while, we don't do this too often because it's very powerful. When we exhale, we're going to exhale through the left side of the nose. We're going to use our thumb. I'll demonstrate real quick. I'm going to breathe in for 4. Ten rounds using the ujjayi breath, that ha sound. So remember the sound. It goes. Kat says, Yogi, you could force us into breathing our 3 times a day, and we won't even notice we are doing it. That's the plan. That's the plan. So use your thumb gently, not pushing. You don't want to see your nose go to the other side. Just gently close. Exhale through the left side. Breathing in for 4, exhaling through the left. So chat's going to be, I'll be out of the chat for about 3 to 4 minutes. So for those who are going to breathe, if you can close your eyes and relax. Notice your breath. Just notice it. Now bring some awareness to your nose. As you breathe in, notice the air passing wherever it does on your nose. You might feel it right on the inside, right above the upper lip. You might find it towards the tip. Just notice. A little more attention on whatever it is you notice. Wherever it is, you notice the breath going in, the breath going out. Sharpen that attention. Notice the texture of the breath, the warmth of the breath, the softness of the breath. Right on that tip of the nose, wherever you feel it. Breathing in, breathing out. Let yourself experience that without commentary. Just notice. We're going to breathe in for a count of 4. We're going to exhale for a count of 8. We're going to use that ocean sounding breath. We're going to, as we exhale, bring our thumb up to the nose and block off the right side. And very gently, as if we're releasing air from a balloon, exhale from the left side. Very powerful breath, a very relaxing breath. Take in a regular breath. Exhale, and on the next breath, we're going to begin, and we're going to begin with 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the left for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the left for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale just through the left for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the left for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the left for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the left for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let the breath go completely. Letting the breath go, and you still find yourself breathing. There's no effort involved. There's no effort involved in relaxing. There's no effort involved in falling asleep. We just allow. And nature, the universe, carries us through. When we relax, when we let go. Let go and let God. Stay in this feeling for as long as you want. And when you're ready, open your eyes. I'll see you in the chat. Soulstar says, yeah, that one made a yawn come out. Big Al says, I'm ready to sleep. One of my favorite breaths. Hi, Abigail. It's just the way, it's almost like you're supercharging the, someone says I feel better. Good, Selma. I'm glad. It's like you're supercharging the 4-8 breath. The left nostril corresponds, Abigail says, I'm doing wonderful. Awesome. Corresponds with the parasympathetic state, which is the rest and digest state. Soulstar says, sometimes when I take a deep breath, that happens. Abigail says, hi to Star. Hey, Jason. Jason says, hey, Hugo, what's going on? Not much, my friend. How are you? I'm going to click on Jason's channel real quick. Jason only needs 75 more subscribers, guys. Hey, Jason, I see you figured out the playlist. Well done, my friend. We'll put your playlist up. Hello, Selma.
Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
I would say you are. We got a song right off the bat. That's always good. Kat
And
says, I'm going to read
I-
Kat's comment real quick, Selma. One
Yeah.
second. that was good. I enjoyed it. This is the first time my nose was clear enough to really participate. Oh shoot! Hey, I'm glad for that. But Kat, remind me sometimes when you are stuffed up, and we'll have a plan B for you, so that you can still get the benefit. All right. I'm sorry I cut you off, Selma.
It's okay. Do you know why I'm happy?
No.
Because I'm happy today because I sing a song that makes me happy, and but now I'm feeling better.
Well, good. That makes me happy that you're happy.
Yeah, and I'm going to my ex-boyfriend's house tomorrow.
Harrison,
Yeah,
what? Why are you going to his house?
he wants me to make out with him.
But he's an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Should you be making out with an ex-boyfriend?
I can give it a try if he wants to get back with me. I think I'm scared.
Well, you might want to. You might want to think about it.
Yeah. I think I want to think about it.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. If you got to move forward, move forward.
Yeah. And I because when I get angry,
Uh-huh.
I turn myself into a ghost and being all bad and like
Right.
I turning myself into a ghost. Yeah.
Hey, our friend Jason said, never let the guy take advantage of you. It's good advice from Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Cece has really good advice and says, talk with father about this boy's intentions. That's good too.
Thank you, Cece.
It's nice when when you come in here, Selma, everyone
Yeah.
has your back. Even Runner Boy has your back. Runner Boy says yo.
Well, Wonder Boy. This is here.
You meet again.
We meet again.
Give me 1 second here.
Wonder Boy is the troublemaker.
Runner Boy can be a bit of a troublemaker, that's for sure. He has good intentions though. He's just trying to make people laugh.
Yeah.
He's a good guy,
Yeah.
even if he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jason says it's going to be a good Friday night. I'm getting drunk soon.
Not too drunk, Jason.
Cece says you're welcome. I agree. Not too drunk, Jason. Willa says, keep me amazing, my friends. You too, Willow. And you are amazing. I hope you realize that. I know you don't, but I hope you will. Cypress says, and take a tape measure and measure him from head to toe. If he asks, tell him, so I know how bigger or smaller hold it is. See that? Sniper's got you back.
Thank you, Sniper.
Carl says, in Florida at the moment? You're in Florida, Carl? Hey, that's exciting. How's the weather? Runner Boy says, Runner Boy is here. You're never alone. Someone has to watch over you while you sleep peacefully. That's a scary thought.
It scares me.
Yep. Jason says, oh, yes, I can't promise, my friends, but yes, we'll try. Zephyr says, gosh, Carl, how was the flight?
Runner Boy, that scares me. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to sleep at night.
Carl says, setting up for the train open day. Hey, Cat and Jack. I wanted to read something for you. Let me bring it up again real quick. This is from Pope Francis. Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruit. The sun does not shine on itself, and flowers do not spread their fragrance for themselves. Living for others is a rule of nature. We are all born to help each other. No matter how difficult it is, life is good when you are happy, but much better when others are happy because of you. That's beautiful. So, Selma, did you hear what he just said there? Life is good when you are happy, but much better when others are happy because of you. And you want to know something?
Yeah,
I'm happy because of you.
yeah.
So that means my life is much better just because of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I want to say the same thing to everyone in the chat. My life is immensely better because of all of you guys. Every single one of you.
Yeah.
Even Runner Boy.
And Runner Boy said, if we ever have a bump in the night, have no fear, for I am here.
He's the one doing the bumping. Jason says, Yogi, what you have for supper? I had my supper's pretty early, and then I have a second like lighter meal, which is usually just fruit, another bowl of oatmeal. My dinner was, you guys could probably guess. What do you think I had for dinner, Selma?
Pizza.
I did not have pizza. I had. I bet you, if I said Cat and Jack, guess what I had for dinner? She'd probably guess. Jason says oatmeal. Well, that was for my second meal.
And Runner Boy said, if I'm matching Yogi's and oats at midnight, wake he slumbers.
Man, Runner Boy got in my oatmeal. I had, Cypher says, and walnut. Well, for dinner, my dinner was lentils, rice, diced up red potatoes, and served over, and it's a big bowl. Served over steamed kale and broccoli. And then Kat said you had split pea soup. I did not have split pea soup. I can't even say it. Kat, I couldn't even get that out of my mouth. My whole body rebelled from saying.
The pea soup?
I can't say it. You'll have to say it for me, Selma.
Pea soup, pea soup, pea soup, pea soup,
Thank you.
pea soup.
But you got to, what kind of pea soup?
I cannot say it.
Split. I can say each word individually. And then I had 2 bananas and an apple for dessert. Kat says, yum, yum, yum. That's 3 yums. That's a lot of yums.
And one of the boys said, I leave the mostly pee alone so Yogi can enjoy them all.
Jason says, "You'll live forever, Yogi." That's the plan. Is that what you had, Jason? Shrimp pizza? You ever had shrimp pizza before, Selman?
No. Ew! Jason, you're a pea pipe. Ew.
I did not want a pea pie.
Nasty.
I agree. Carl says, "I'm eating American food." What kind of food are you eating, Carl? Carl, have you ever been to Florida before? Jason says, "No," laughing.
Jason said it was a joke on a pizza.
Senko says, "Was it 2 big bananas, the size of 6 small bananas?" It was 2 big bananas. 2 pretty big bananas. I had, Selma, can you guess how many bananas I had today?
2.
Good guess, but it's not correct. What do you guys in the chat? How many bananas did I eat today?
Sniper says 5.
That's really good. That's a really good guess too. And let's see. Sniper is actually correct. I had 2 in my morning oatmeal. I had 2 at my big meal for the day, and I had 1 in my evening oatmeal. Cat says 4. Cat was off by 1.
Well, one of the boys said, me personally, I would consider a 2-inch banana big, but that's just me.
Runner Boy is a very odd person, Selma. Runner Boy said 25. I have eaten 25 bananas in a day before.
25?
I've eaten 30 bananas. When I first became vegan, I was almost strictly a fruitarian, meaning I only ate fruit. And man, could I run nonstop. I was always fueled up, always hydrated.
Yeah.
So, Sniper, you doused that answer? Hey, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
MK says I would have some tofu with it for extra protein. It sounds good. Honestly, too much for me. Well, with the lentils, and the potatoes and the rice, I probably get in that one big bowl. I probably get well over 40 grams of protein. Yeah, I ran my first 50-mile race, and it was in the summer. It got up to 96 plus degrees with extremely high humidity. About 60% of the race dropped out. And I never had any trouble with the heat because I was so hydrated from eating nothing but fruit the entire time. Carl says it's time for beer. Enjoy, Carl. It's going to be American beer. Jason says awesome.
Yogi?
Yep.
I like to be happy.
I'd like to be happy too. You know what I really like?
Yeah.
I like when you're happy.
Yeah.
I like when you're happy as much as I like when I'm happy.
And everybody in the chat is happy.
Yep. MK Fishing says I had the last fish from 3 days ago. Had to drive back because my dad forgot it, and I wasn't gonna let it go to waste, making the animal die in vain. Way to go, MK. That's why I love my fishing friends for doing something like that. Oh, Carl is here drinking. He's in America drinking Irish beer. That's probably a good idea, Carl.
Hi, Rosie.
Cup of tea. Rosie says hi to MK. Sam says I haven't seen a friend in 6 years because they moved away. And now I'm finally, after 6 years, getting his number, hopefully. Awesome, Sam. I hope it works.
Wonderful is just crazy.
He is crazy. He likes to wallow in his thoughts. Well, I guess if you're gonna wallow in thoughts, doing it in your own thoughts is probably the best, right?
Yeah.
Hey, relaxing. How are you, my friend? Relaxing
I'm,
says hi. Go ahead, Summer.
I'm relaxing. Hi, poor man.
Poor man says, have a good night, Yogi. Off to mill. Hey, Dan, I'll be looking for you tomorrow. You know what Dan's doing? You know what poor man's doing tomorrow?
Yeah,
He's gonna do 1,000 burpees with a bunch of friends.
that's a lot.
That is a lot. Jason says, party at Eric's night. That's night. Come on over. You just got to be quiet because I'll be asleep in about 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Alexis
Jason.
says, hello to everyone's beautiful friends. Yeah, my partying days pretty much over. I extended my party years well past their prime. Jason says, early night, Yogi. Yeah, every night's an early night for me because I'm up so early. Jason says, be quiet, promise. I knew you would. You're a good person, Jason. You know what? One of the best things about having a YouTube channel is people who wander in on a live stream and they end up becoming really good friends. And Jason's one of those people. Carl says YouTube will be quiet tomorrow. Why do you think it'll be quiet tomorrow, Carl? MK says those fish did feed 3 people, so definitely worth it. Yes. Jason says, thank you, buddy. Would my brother? Hey,
Hi,
Josh.
Joshua.
Jason says, you're like family, Yogi. I appreciate that, Jason. You too. That's why it was, you know, you just have this friendliness about you. When you came into the live stream for the first time, you were so friendly. We just wanted to help you. It was Sniper who said, hey, let's get Jason to 50. Jason said he had catfish and coleslaw for supper. Nice. You ever had catfish before, Selma?
No.
Oh, got you. Carl says, because of Pope's funeral. I just read a quote from Pope Francis.
Hi, Josh.
Relaxing says, normal Eric, we are family, together friends. Absolutely. Hey, relaxing. On your last live stream, I tried to leave a gift for you, and it wouldn't let me.
Warner Boy is crazy.
Hey, that's interesting, Runner Boy. He was speaking to a Vietnamese man on his last live. It was interesting. He decided to stay and use Google Translation to type. You laughing at Josh?
No, I'm laughing at Warner Boy.
Oh. Jason says it's fixing to pour rain here. It might rain here too. Jason says, time for me to go mudding. Josh says it's been so long. Relaxing says you can do my friend Eric if you want to gift everywhere. I do want a gift.
Hi, Eric.
Yep, Eric Point says
we
what's
miss
that?
Eric.
Yep.
We miss him.
Yep, Eric Point says sometimes they wander in and never leave. Could be a good thing or a bad thing, but here we are, Yogi. Eric Lapointe was one of those people who just wandered in out of the blue.
Yeah.
Didn't even wipe his feet, Selma. What do you think of that?
I think that's a bad thing.
You think it's a bad thing? The least
Yeah.
Eric Lapointe could have done was wipe off his boots. But he's here, and you know what? It's been a really good thing to have Eric Lapointe here.
Thank you, Josh.
Josh says, "Oh, I forgot. Hey, man, you're bald." Yogi, 2025. That's a direct quote. Hey, what's the other, Josh? What was the other quote from you? I forget what it was. Relaxing says, "I did not see it last. It wouldn't allow me to do it. I tried on your last live stream that I was at." Jason said, "Deals out. Deals out." Corona Boy is going to be fully monetized soon. Carl says, "I'm shutting YouTube down." Understood. Enjoy your time in Florida, Carl. Velaki says, "When you do a gift, I see it. Thanks. I will always try to. Whenever I see you live, I will always try to." There it is. Josh says, "I'd wear that sticker like a bagel." Velaki says, "Maybe I will delete, or I don't. No way." Eric Point says, "I'm Runner Boy's #1 super chatter."
And one of them says, LOL, LOL.
Velaki says, "The members not have no one."
We love you, John.
I will relaxing. I will be back. I'm trying to sort of like be a member for this, like a certain number of people, and then shifting over for another certain number of people for support, and then just moving around.
Josh, this is for you. A heart.
Runner Boy says, "Runner Boy on live, go into your laptop, and you can gift away free memberships. Speech, you cannot do it from your phone." I didn't know you couldn't do it on your phone.
I don't know.
Huh. All right, I think we're gonna wrap things up, guys. I'm gonna go to bed. What do you think, Selma?
I think you should stay for 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen in 5 minutes?
Do singing.
Singing? Me singing or you singing?
Me.
And what are we gonna sing?
Hindi song.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let's get caught up in the chat. Eric Point says that's what I do too, Yogi. I wanna help out as many people as I can, as often as I can, but that means I need to be smart about it. So I'm trying to. So if it seems like I'm not doing, like I'm not there supporting, I will be. I promise. So you're gonna sing a Hindi song, huh?
Yeah.
Josh wants to hear no Old Man Swamp. Old Man Swamp? Old Man Stomp. Do you know that song?
No.
Neither do I. So let's stick with what we know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. All right, whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
तुम बात करे यो मस्त करे जो मैंने जाने क्या लिखा है टोकन वाले कुछ होता है टोकन वाले कुछ होता है तुम बासरा रे यो मस्करा रे क्या मैंने जाने क्या मैंने खाया है टोकन वाले कुछ होता है टोकन वाले कुछ होता है.
Beautifully done, as always, Selma. You got such a lovely voice, my friend.
Thank you.
I would say the voice of an angel.
Yeah.
So, how's that for going to bed then?
Yeah.
Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Could you tell everyone good night for me?
Yeah. Yoki said good night and he left you and he will see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock, 5:25.
And 5:25. Thank you, Selma. And she's absolutely right. I do love you guys, and I hope you have a good night or a good morning, whatever the case may be. And I saw you peeking over there.
What?
I saw you peeking.
For what?
You were peeking. I saw you. You leaned all the way over.
Yeah.
You thought I didn't see you, huh? Sneaking in that
Yeah.
little peek.
Yeah.
Yogi sees everything, Selma. It says, sweet dreams, Yogi. Sweet dreams, Jack. Cat says, good night, everyone. You're not sneaking in, are you? Are you again? You're not coming out.
No.
I'm checking. I'm making sure. Okay. MK says, and of course, choosing species that are plantful if possible. Oh, I saw that finger wag. Invasive to leave the native ecosystem alone, but still probably do more harm than you do.
Yogi, look.
I see that. I saw that finger wag too.
And I finger wag at Wonder Boy.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I'm gonna join you with that. I'm gonna break out the spoon.
Wonder Boy, this is for you. Hi, puppy mommy.
Hey, toy pups. We're just wrapping things up, my friend. MK says, good night, Selma.
Seriously, Wonder Boy? I don't want to know.
No, it's better not to know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Making sure you're not peeking over at toy pups.
I'm picking at her.
I'm looking over there. I don't see you.
I'm picking at you, puppy mommy. I'll pick at you. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Pickle, pickle, pickle.
All right. So.
I see you. I see you, puppy mommy. I see you. I see you, Yogi. I see you.
I see you too.
See you. Actually, I see all of you.
It's a good thing. They need to be kept. They need to be kept an eye upon. I think they're up to no good, Selma. Hey, Jim.
Knockity knock knock. I'm waiting for you, puppy mommy. Knock knock. Knock knock knock.
Much love to you, Jim. All right. Selma, you gonna be around tomorrow?
Yeah.
Come on up and say hi then.
Okay.
Runaway says he can see the back of my head from where he is. Rebecca says just popped in to say hi. Have a great night, everyone. You too, Rebecca. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I'm going to bed. I'm going to see everyone tomorrow. Who knows?
Puppy mommy, so who's Dale? It's me. I'm knocking at your door, Puppy Mommy. Knock, knock, knock.
We're gonna see if she answers.
And I'm knocking at your door, Yogi. Knock, knock, knock.
Hi, Delilah. I can't answer. I can't answer. I'm in bed, Selma. Come back tomorrow. Runaway says, "Sweet dream, yogis. See you tonight." Well, you won't see me. So he thinks.
So you think, but it's not gonna help.
It's not gonna help. Nope. Thank you, Delilah. Much appreciated, my friend.
And I will
Alright.
be knocking at your door, Wonder Boy.
There
At
you
night
go.
when you are sleeping. I will open up the window, crawl inside, and I will shave the hair.
You've been warned, Runner Boy. You know what's gonna happen now. All right. Gotta go. I will see everyone tomorrow. Take care, guys. Bye, Selma.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Puppy Mommy. Love you.